All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the YMAO Podcast. This is episode 13. My name is Joemer, and this is the podcast where I yap a lot and you either learn a lot or you fall asleep. So hopefully one of the two happens, and at least that way you get the value of either being able to fall asleep and getting a good night's rest or learning something. So I didn't turn on the light for my room, and I don't know how I feel about it. It kind of feels a little bit dark, but it also kind of feels like me. Kind of feels a little bit normal because honestly, that's kind of how I am in my room. I don't really turn on the light outside of the light in front of or on my desk. But yeah, today has been pretty good. I I'm just trying to get through my day. I've been learning a lot about what I want to do for content and how I want to start a business and what I should be doing for my app, but it still needs a lot of work. And I feel like I have a lot of projects and I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I'm also trying to balance time with friends and family, and it just kind of feels a lot. So it's kind of like the normal Monday. I feel like it's a normal Monday mood to kind of just feel overwhelmed, feel like you have a lot, and if you're feeling like that, then you're not alone. Um, Take your Monday to just kind of relax, just like ease into things and come back on Tuesday a little bit better, a little bit stronger, and feeling more comfortable about all the things that you have to do. I feel like it's kind of a PSA to me, but it's also a PSA for you guys as well. Um, I feel like I have a lot to do, which is really good. And being the overachiever that I am, I kind of want to do all of it really, really fast. And I know that that's not the way to do things. I just recently watched a video um, on how to jump better in volleyball because I'm trying to improve my volleyball skills. And they were talking about the frequency of physical training and how much you should be doing in order for it to be retained in long-term memory. And they said that generally there are a bunch of scientific studies where the best way to retain memory is to do more, to have a higher frequency and less of a count over time. So, for example, instead of doing 10 to 20 repetitions of, writing down a word, if you want to learn a word, it's better to do to write the word 3 to 5 times instead of 10 to 20, and to do it over a longer span every single day. So kind of distribute the load rather than doing it once a week. And I think that I just need to do that for a lot of different aspects of my life. I have a bunch of different projects and I'm being super ambitious, and I think that I just need to take a chill pill, relax a bit, and realize that I have all the time in the world to do it. Not all the time in the world. Obviously, I want to get it done as fast as I can, but I'm doing my best. I'm trying to make sure that I'm productive, and I think that I need to set up a daily goal. I When I was studying for interviews, when I was looking for jobs, I told myself that it would just be good enough if I just looked at a problem, and if I did the problem, it was a different thing. Uh, it was like if I had homework to do, the goal would be to at least open the notebook. And I think that, oh no, it's kind of loud. Hopefully it goes away. And so I have been trying to incorporate that now. It just seems like the metrics are a little bit weird. Like, I think I just need to do stuff in a regulated way so that I'm doing everything or making progress towards everything one at a time. For example, the past 2 weeks, I have been working on content creation, and that has been taking up a lot of my time, and also balancing time with friends and family. and that has left me to not work on my app, which is supposed to be my product that I want to sell eventually, or advertise. And I feel like that's the first part. Like, I should have a product that I should be sharing with people, and at the same time I feel like there's really no set way I'm supposed to do things. I'm just supposed to make general progress towards things, and I think I'm being conflicted. It's like the general rule of being productive so that you can go towards a goal versus just being generally productive and making progress every day. Um, I'm more of a fan of the second one, but it just feels so slow. And I made I made New Year goals, and I don't think I'm going to reach all of them this year, and it's a little bit sad. I have reached all my goals every single year, and I've been doing it for 3 years, so this is going to be the first year, I think, where I'm not going to reach all my goals. It's a little bit too soon. Obviously, there's 4 months left, but I'm just being realistic. I don't think I'm going to reach them. And it means I have to reassess that into next year, but also, like, I just want to make sure that I'm pushing myself the right amount, and it's a very sensitive balance because I want to push myself, but I don't want to hurt myself. And I feel like that has been the thing that I've been trying to learn for the past month or two. Pretty much ever since I started the podcast, I started around the time when I got a knee injury, and physically it has sucked to not be able to do one of the things that I've been wanting to do. And physically it's shown me that if I push myself too hard, then I'll end up hurting myself. And I think mentally I've been able to get away with this in the past because, mentally you don't see the scars or you don't see the injury, but physically when you hurt yourself, you're more prone to just realizing that you shouldn't have pushed yourself as hard, and you probably should have been a little bit more careful with how much you did. And so I'm learning about progressive loads from an exercise perspective, and just it has been translating to a lot of different things to realize, like, hey, I may not want to go as slow as I want to. I may want to go faster, but it is appropriate to take my time when starting something new. And starting something new doesn't mean only the first 1 or 2 months that you're doing things. Starting something new can mean taking an entire year or two to just get started with learning. Like, when you're learning a new concept or you're learning a new hobby, it takes a while. So I think I'm trying to learn that. I'm trying to be better about it. It makes me a little bit sad because I like seeing the immediate gratification. I like seeing the short-term progress. And it's killing me that there hasn't been progress for almost a year and a half now. I've been working on the app. A year and a half I've been creating a YouTube channel and haven't found my stride yet. And I know that people say that the creative process takes some time. And it feels like this way for a lot of different content creators and a lot of different developers who have gone this route. But it just feels it feels a little draining, and I just have to be more positive and optimistic, and I have to do things with a little bit of grace, move a little bit more slowly and take my time so that in the long run I'll be okay. So yeah, this is more like my personal experience on progressive loads and being more productive, and being productive while not hurting yourself. But hopefully if you resonate with it, it helps you to understand that you should also probably be taking it slow. If you resonated with any part of the story, then it's a good sign that you should probably also take it a bit slow. And even if it means that it's a lack in performance, even if it means that you're not going to get the best grades in school, it's better to perform less now so that over the long run you can continue to perform rather than to break down and not be able to perform at all, is my take. It is better to take it easy and to just step away from things in order to heal, rather than to aggravate some like a problem and to keep pushing yourself or try to push through when that'll just hurt you even more and make the injury even worse, you know? Oh, that's really cool. I think it's raining right now and the sun's out. It's a sun shower. Cool, cool. Um, sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, hopefully it goes well. I think it'll go well. Yesterday, or not yesterday, Saturday, I filmed a bunch of content. So I'll be going through content today and trying to make some videos for you guys. So I'm still excited for it. Just kind of, I've just been a little bit dizzy the entire day trying to organize things. I've had ideas running through my head, and my brain is kind of split on where to put my time. So yeah, I think I need to. I said this before, like 2 episodes ago, but I think I really need to like hash out my schedule now that my schedule is a lot more complicated than it was before. Um, I think it's gonna work out. Actually, I think it's gonna go really well. Um, I'm really happy about all the things I've been learning, and I think that I'll actually be able to fit everything into my very busy life, everything that I want to do, and I think that if I can do it, then you guys can do it too. I think something that I've been learning is just like if I feel like I don't have the time for something, it just means that I'm not allocating my time correctly. So it just means that, if you're feeling like you don't have enough time in the day, then you just need to reallocate, or like kind of think about how you're using your time, and then think about if you're using it the way that you want to use it. Um, so yeah, I feel like that's the process that I'm in right now. And honestly, I want to do it right now, but I will finish the episode first and then I will write. But yeah, so cool. I feel like I sorted out where I am productivity wise. I feel like that's my first stage in anything that I think about. If you have any more questions about my perspective, or just anything that you're struggling with when it comes to trying to be productive, then feel free to leave a comment and let me know. Or even like leave it in chat if you're in the live stream. But yeah. Other than that, the time where I'm moving to a new team soon, a new job, and I'm excited. It's still in the same company, so I'll still be working at Google, but it's exciting to join a new team. It's also really scary. I talked about this a little bit before, but I've been talking about it with my friends and family a little bit more, and I feel like I talked about it enough, but it's just like that part's scaring me a little bit. Change is always a little bit scary. Um, at the same time, I feel like I'm shifting in general, like not just with my job, I'm shifting to a whole different stage in my life where I'm just tackling, like I'm looking towards the future in a different way. I feel like I used to think about things in terms of necessities. Like I used to think, okay, like I need to focus on my work because I need to pay the electricity bill, or I need to make sure my family's okay. And nowadays it's about trying to be better than okay. And it's like, okay, my life seems good now, but how can I make sure that the financial stability stays? How can I do things so that I'm enjoying life? How can I do things so that I could be more successful? And I feel like I feel like I have a different type of stress now. I feel like it's a different type of stress to pursue things, knowing that, if you do it or not, it's not going to, like, the failure isn't going to mean anything. And in one way, the pressure is gone because it doesn't really affect your livelihood. to do things that don't really affect your income. So for example, like starting a TikTok account, whether it passes or whether it succeeds or fails, usually won't affect your salary job unless you do something that gets you fired. But for the most part, it really shouldn't. Most part, it should be okay. And in that sense, I feel like there's a different type of pressure towards wanting to perform well. In the past, when it came to struggling, it was almost like a 0 or 1. Like you either make it or you don't, and if you don't make it, then your family's not okay, and you're not okay, and life is not okay. And now I feel like the pressure is um it's about like doing things because you really want to do it. And it comes with a different level of frustration because like the frustration isn't like outwards, I guess. Like you don't like when it comes to school and doing things that you don't want, then the frustration is because you don't want to do it. But when you do want to do things, then the frustration is that you don't have enough time to do everything. Or it feels like you don't have enough time to do everything. Um, Certain things in life kind of feel like you could kind of feel like you're using time that's more like you're using time in a way where you're finding more enjoyment, and other times you feel like you're not finding as much enjoyment. And I guess like to that degree it's about having the type of life that you'll always enjoy or you'll always have fun in. Also, I feel like I'm sorry to break the stream of consciousness, but I feel like today I'm a little bit off. I feel like my head's a little bit cloudy, and I'm just kind of like I'm especially yappy today. Like I feel like I've been talking about anything and everything, and I don't even know if it makes any sense. I I feel like it's because I just got out of I was just in a call where I was helping someone who's supposed to be a candidate who wants to apply to Google, and I was giving a lot of advice and tips. And I think that I'm just a little adviced out, honestly. And I think I'm just happy to be on a live stream, on a podcast with you guys, and just kind of relax. And it's kind of the reason I started the podcast, because I wanted a place where I can kind of just emotionally vent and relax and not feel like it's a job. And I think I almost lost that a little bit on this episode. You know, you do enough of these and you feel like you're supposed to entertain, you're supposed to perform. But the truth is that you'll probably entertain people and perform well if you just relax and you just speak as like what about whatever you want, and you just let the ideas flow and you just be yourself, because that's kind of the best way to show your personality. Um, and I feel like that right now. Like I feel like I don't have the energy and the capacity to be anything else and to give advice. I tried doing it, I think, for the past like 15 minutes, but it wasn't really working. I felt like I wasn't really pulling any inspiration because I'm not really dealing with any problem that I haven't looked at yet. I feel like a lot of the problems I've been dealing with for the past month or two, I've found an answer in some capacity, and now it's just more about doing it and about kind of like doing the action. I was talking to a friend and I told them that self-improvement and generally anything that you really do, the action is usually 20% of the effort, and the 80% is unblocking the mental and physical barriers that you have in your life. And so lots of times when we say that there's like too much work towards something, it's not really that there's too much work, it's just that we have a barrier or a blockade that stops us from seeing how easy it is to dedicate 10 to 15 minutes or even an hour of time towards the craft that we want to work towards. I think it was in the last podcast too, I said like I was in a park for about 2 hours, or I was supposed to be in a park for 2 hours, and I was trying to kill the time, and it felt like 2 hours, and I checked the time and it was only 20 minutes. And it's so insane how time moves differently when we use it differently. So so yeah, I feel like I feel like this episode is more of a relaxation one, and I feel like Mondays are there for that too. Like Mondays and Sundays are kind of the days where you're supposed to relax. Sunday's supposed to be like the main day to relax, but then it's like it feels kind of fake because then Monday comes around and we're supposed to start working, and it takes a little bit of time to like rev up the engine and just like get into work mode. And it's almost like those 2 days are a transitionary phase, like a transition day. And I feel like it's the same thing for Fridays and Saturdays. Like it takes me, or not Fridays and Saturdays, like Thursday and Friday, where I need to like transition into the weekend and I start to like relax more. And like Sunday and Monday are like days where I try to like increase productivity more. So I feel like it's a good balance, but in general, as a person, I feel like it takes me some time to get into a certain mood or to get into a certain to get into oh my gosh, fully into all my habits and to operate in the ways I'm supposed to work, whether it's for like my company and my job or my creative side and trying to do things for the channel. I think that's why I'm also honestly I feel like that's also why I am creatively tapped out. Like in all aspects, I'm a little bit tapped out. Socially, I'm tapped out. I went out over the weekend. Creatively, I'm tapped out. I was working on editing some videos, and job, I'm tapped out because it's a Monday and I need some time to just get back into it. So I think that's why I'm feeling a little bit more drained than I usually am. And yeah, I feel like I'm just tired a little bit today. And even though I was like creatively already pushed out, I recently downloaded Belly, which is a app for rating food, and I saw a bunch of cool user design choices that they did for their app. Like just the design of their app was really really cool. The way that they structured it was really awesome, and I had so much inspiration for what I wanted to do in my app. And I feel like for part of the day, it just kind of took some it took up some space in my head to just think about my app more and to motivate me towards working on my app. And I think that's why also I'm a little bit drained. Like I used all of my brain energy towards that. And yeah, I think I'm shifting. Like my brain shifts a lot, and I uh I just need to find a system in the madness and kind of kind of organize the chaos in a way where it feels a little bit more structured or kind of flows a little bit better. Um but yeah, I think I'm going to do that now. Yeah, I have to write a schedule, and I have to put it somewhere where I'm going to always look at it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Um, if you learned anything this episode, uh, if you learned anything this episode, uh, create a schedule, which is absolutely the opposite of what I said last time, which is to not create a schedule. There's probably a balance somewhere, and hopefully I strike it where I have a schedule that works for me and it's not so strict that I feel like I'm being demoralized because I'm not getting around to everything. I think that I need to find like this like emergency button where if I don't reach something or I'm just busy and life gets in the way, like what do I do if my schedule doesn't allow it? Do I just like let it fall through the cracks and then try it next week? You know, like, oh, I didn't have Wednesdays free, surely next Wednesday will be okay, kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know schedule wise what works. I feel like my advice is over the place on to make a schedule or not to make a schedule, but obviously do what works for you and the type of person you are. I want to end it off on a good note. I want to like give you guys something that's like somewhat productive. What did we talk about today? I don't even know. I'm drawing blanks. I don't even know what I yapped about for the past like 20 minutes. But I guess where I'll leave it, if you are feeling like you are doing a lot and you are feeling like life is chaotic and you don't have the energy to do it because it's a Monday, then or not even a Monday, if it's just like a day where you kind of feel off, then take the time to, I think this is also what I would tell myself, honestly, and my younger self as well. If I'm low on energy, then it just means that it's a day to organize things and to take a little bit of a lighter load when it comes to working on things. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't work on it at all. It just means that I have to lower to what I learned about consistency and workout frequency. I think it just means that I have to do a lower amount today than I would normally do, and that's okay. It is okay to do a lower amount, but as long as I'm doing something towards it, then it's okay, which is probably why this podcast episode will be a little bit shorter. But yeah, do things in smaller frequencies, and over time it'll work out better in the long run. And I think that's probably the best thing to take away from this episode. So thank you guys for coming. Sorry that the episode's a little bit shorter, but hopefully you learned something, or you at least enjoyed the company and listening to me yap about everything under the sun. So I appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Appreciate you guys watching these videos, watching these podcasts. It really means a lot to me. And I will recharge, reschedule, and I will see you guys in the next podcast episode or the next video, wherever I see you guys. But thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.